Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, Rebecca?
Very well. How are you?
Okay, I'm good. Let me introduce you with our client or whoever will listen to this video. Rebecca is doing the property manager for our management for our company in Spain, especially in Barcelona. And Rebecca will tell us a little bit about the new situation with the corona, how it looks like in Spain, about people who are holding apartment at the moment, and about the future, how far that we can get. So Rebecca, can you tell me a little bit about how it looks like now in the streets of Barcelona?
Yes, in general, we are still in lockdown. We are allowed to go out to the supermarket, pharmacy, bank. We still got the post running, the urgent things. Kids have to stay inside, although we're allowed to let them out from the 27th for a few hours a day. But essentially it's emergency things and necessities of life that you can go out for. All the shops are shut. And that's how it is generally. In regard to work-wise, emergency, obviously services are working, the hospitals are working. You know, for example, we can deal with emergencies and leaks and insurances. And recently on Monday, they've opened up the construction. So we've been doing building in a building that we look after. We're getting the furniture and things built.
What about your family? Are you staying home all the time, or you can go out for fresh air, do some sport? And
No, you can't do sport at the moment. You can go outside if you have a dog, but no, the kids in general should have been kept inside since mid-March. So it will be good on Monday when we can get them outside for a little bit. They won't be allowed to go to the parks.
I heard the best asset you can have in Barcelona now in Spain, it's a dog now.
Yeah, they're loaning out the dog to all the neighbors.
Okay. How it goes in the thing that you do in general, the rent apartment, how it looks like at the moment? Tell me a little bit.
To rent an apartment, so it is difficult now to rent an apartment just due to the fact that we have our movement limited. What we're doing is, obviously, because we've always worked with international clients, we have videos of the majority of our properties. So if we have an empty flat, we're still advertising with the videos and the plans and everything so people can see it. The problem we have is that they close the airports to foreigners coming in. So if you're a resident of Spain, you can come home. But you can't come if you don't live here, if you're coming new. So that's been our majority client in the past. So now we're opening up other options to see whether we continue with the foreigners that are already here, or whether we should start looking at more longer terms, the residents that are here. The problem I have with videos for residents is if you're going to move into a flat that is your flat, you want to go and see it in person. If you're going to stay there for a few years, you want to see it in person. So they're less trustworthy of the videos. So it's a harder sale to see, look, I'm here, let's look on the video. They want to go in person. So we have managed to move flats with the videos, but it is harder.
Okay.
It's a harder sale.
And what about the renter at the moment? What do you hear from them? Are they asking for discounts? Are they paying at all? And are they still in the country?
Yeah. So when it hit, when the barriers started to go down, when they started talking about lockdown, we had a lot of tenants that had to fly home. We have a lot of students. So obviously all the universities shut. So if their course stopped, they had no reason to be here. So sort of as soon as they knew that their course has stopped, or whether their country was going to put a barrier down so that they wouldn't be able to get home, people jumped on planes and had to close their contracts, which obviously means that we keep their deposit, and we close up the contract virtually through emails. Or if they are able to stay, yes, we've had people asking for a discount if they were affected, if their parents, because the majority of our clients are very young, so it's their parents that are the guarantors. So if their parents are having issues with their business, they ask for a discount. So we try and look at the percentages related to what their situation is, whether it's 20 or 50% or depending on each situation.
What do you recommend to do in this kind of situation that a renter asking for a discount?
It's person per person. It depends if my investor has a mortgage, and if they're willing to offer a discount, because a lot of our investors have their mortgage just at their bracket of what they're making. So if they cannot offer any money, like everyone's in the same boat, yeah, we have to tell them no. The law says that you must pay your rent. There's no change in the contract at all. We try and talk it out. If there's a possibility to offer 10 or 20% discount, or even more in some extreme cases, then we try and negotiate that out to keep the money flowing, and to keep a friendly relationship, yeah, with both the tenant and the landlord. But if it's not possible, what the law says is that they have to ask for a loan.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is. If they can't do it, then we continue the same way as if they weren't paying the rent in any other situation.
Okay, what about finish of contract in this time, or starting new contract, or renting empty apartments?
Yeah, so we're doing everything digitally now. So if they're leaving, we ask them to leave the keys. We've got alarms in most of the apartments, so we turn the alarm on when they leave. We come, we pick up the keys, and we do the inventory the next day to avoid the social distancing. They have to sign a piece of paper to say that they terminated the contract, whether it's early or late, but they sign that they left. And then we go through the same procedure to get the deposit back, and depending on whether they broke the contract or not, if they broke the contract, the deposit goes to the owner. If they didn't, we work out what they get back from there.
And what about,
if there was any damages. Yeah. And new contracts,
yeah,
new contracts, they have to obviously send the money digitally, whether it's bank transfer or PayPal or some other method. We have to do all the verification online, which is a bit more difficult. And then we have to do the contracts digitally as well. Once we have all the paperwork and the money, then we send someone to meet them to drop the keys.
Okay, and a little bit about your feelings. What do you think will happen in 3 months, 6 months, just speculation, or how you see, yeah, the market now?
Yeah, it's a tough question.
The rent market.
We have never seen something like this in history, to be able to watch a curve to see, oh, well, you know, this happened before, so this is going to be the curve and this is how it's going to play out, because SARS didn't happen all over the world, so it's not really a helpful instance to look at. We were expecting a recession was going to hit in 2020. We spoke to a lot of business associates here in Spain, and we were advised from the banks to other businesses that there was going to be a recession. Obviously, this coronavirus has amplified it. So we obviously, now with the lockdown, you can't move. It's almost virtually closed our ability to rent. We are renting, but on a very marginal
but later
point.
When they will open the sky,
but when they open that up, so that the markets will increase a bit more, and when they open the airports, obviously it will increase a bit more. Barcelona has a lot to offer, from studies to work to interest culturally. It's always going to bounce back at some point, but it's just the question of when is the public going to feel comfortable again to travel around the world, to go and say, like, when are we going to get the all okay, like I don't know, we've got the vaccine, or they're all gone, there's no more cases. Once people feel comfortable again, I feel that the economy will bounce back quite quickly, but I don't know whether that okay, like we've got no more coronavirus, is going to be a year, 2 year. It depends on how things unfold. Every day is a new story, every day is a new thing from the government, so we have to keep watching and trying to move with the markets and what we have available, and just to try and keep the assets filled and making some money while we get through this.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. Stay optimistic, and
yes,
we'll talk like every day.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye. Bye-bye.